6 minutes?
Well, good evening, Patriots. It's good to be back with you. Of course, I'm running for re-election. I have 3 Democrat opponents. One is filed in the Democrat primary, and the other 2 Democrats filed in the Republican primary. One of them, Jim Hogan from Cleveland, actually ran as a Democrat last time and beat a field of 4 Democrats, including Kinky Friedman, and got the Democratic nomination. Of course, I dispatched him quite handily in the general election. The other one is, well, you know, the only thing probably lower than a politician is a lobbyist. And my other opponent is an Austin lobbyist who has, at the beginning of the session, donated $2,500 to the Texas Democrat Party, which they promptly used to try to defeat Senate Bill 4, our sanctuary city bill. He's been a campaign consultant for several prominent Democrats in the House, Helen Giddings, Pancho Navarez, and many others. He's given thousands and thousands of dollars to Democrats, and he has a history of voting in the Democrat primary. So that's who I'm running against. Now, since I've been your commissioner, we've completely overhauled the agency. It's running much more efficiently. Our Consumer Protection Division, many of you don't know what all we do, but part of that is weights and measures. We're the consumer protector for the state. And in that is fuel pumps and scales and barcode scanners and all of that. When I became commissioner, it was taking us 8 years to check all those fuel pumps. We now have it down to 24 months. And I have a program now where we're checking for credit card skimmers. It's been a real problem across our state. And we're cracking down on those guys, and we're catching them, and we're shutting them down. Now, we're doing all this in 24 months, where it took more than 8 years, and I cut 16 positions when I did it. I eliminated 16 inspectors after doing that. We've...
Just a second. Hey,
yes.
Y'all, I know that you're excited to see your friends, and I'm glad we have this club for that purpose, but when we have a speaker, if you could go outside if you're going to talk. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So, in addition to that, we run the organic certification program. So when I got there, it was a 2.5-year backlog for a farmer to get his crop certified organic. We got that up and running on time in 90 days, and it's been running on time ever since. Thank you. It became very obvious that we had a lot of businesses that were operating outside the law in Texas and had never registered with the Texas Department of Agriculture. Most of those that run scales. I found this out. I visited a pawn shop one day. I was going in there to get some tools or something I needed, and I'm kind of a tightwad, so I go to the pawn shop. And I noticed that they were buying gold and had some scales, but they weren't registered with us. I thought, that's odd. So I went in 7 pawn shops. 6 of the 7 were not registered with us and were selling off of illegal scales.
Wow.
Oh, they wouldn't. Pawn shops wouldn't cheat. Any pawn shop owners in here? So anyway, I launched Operation Maverick, and we found over 7,000 unregistered, and we've got those registered and they're compliant with their, including barbecue joints were not registered with us. Some of them, most of them weren't, but there's about 5% that weren't. So we brought all that online. We have aggressively been marketing the state of Texas. Part of our Go Texan program. We just did that in-state before I got there, and now I have a global outreach initiative, and me or my staff was on every continent on the globe marketing Texas. Well, we didn't go to Antarctica, but anyway, it's been very successful for us. For every dollar we spend on that, we get back about 60, and we don't use taxpayer dollars to do that. It's member-driven by our Go Texan members. So we've been very thrifty. We've cut the size of government. We've, really been good stewards of your money, and it's actually been a pleasure. And can we take questions?
Yeah, if you want.
All right, I'll take questions. I've got about 1.5 minutes left if anyone has a question. Yes?
My issue has always been the horse slaughter, and I want to keep, horse slaughter out of Texas, and, Texas horses out of Mexico. So that's my big issue, if you could just address where you stand on that.
Right now, the federal government it's not illegal to process horses, to slaughter horses. but they've been stopped because the federal government refuses to fund the inspectors. So there's none going on, which has actually been the most inhumane thing that we could possibly do to the horses. Because now they're loaded on semi-trucks and they're shipped either all the way to Canada or to Mexico. And once they get to Mexico, there is no humane treatment. At least here when we were doing it, it required a veterinary to be on staff and to supervise the humane euthanasia of those horses. So that's kind of where it is now. I don't look anytime soon, it's such an emotional issue for that to change. I think it's going to be that way as far as I can see. Anybody else have a question? I don't see any hands going up. Okay. Well, I'll leave you with this quick thought. Most of us in here have a pastor or a priest or a rabbi that we can confide in or our family can go to, and that's important. Most of us in here have a family doctor we can take our kids or grandkids to when they get sick. You may not admit it, but most of us in here have a good lawyer that we can go to. But here's what I want you to think about as I close. Every day for the rest of your life, 3 times a day, you're going to need a farmer. God bless you. Thank you, Judy, for what you did.